Hi, I'm Michael Daugherty, the composer of Gee's Bend for electric guitar and orchestra. It's a piece inspired by the quilters of Gee's Bend, a group of Afro-American women that live in a very small hamlet of Gee's Bend, Alabama. I actually made a trip there. Before I wrote the composition, I flew to Birmingham, Alabama, rented a car, and drove about 3 hours into the backwoods of Alabama, and visited the house where the quilters go every day to make their amazing quilts. Now, what's unusual about the quilts is that these quilters created these quilts in isolation for decades. So the designs and the colors and the overall concept they came up with was very original, and they were discovered, so to speak, about 20 years ago and put into museums, and people were blown away by these incredible quilts made by these women. So one of the highlights of the quilts is the incredible tapestry of color, and that's what I've done in Gee's Bend. I've made this tapestry of sound for electric guitar and orchestra. One of the things I wanted to do is if I was really going to write a piece for electric guitar, to really do it, and that means have the guitar play in ways that come out of not only blues music, but jazz, but also rock music, and not to apologize about the guitar, but to really show what the guitar can do. And that's what this piece does. It really is a full-blown concerto in which the electric guitar really gets to play. And quite often when we think of electric guitar, we think of an instrument that's loud, but actually the electric guitar can do very interesting things playing softly. So there's some lovely moments where the electric guitar is playing these kind of interesting bending of notes with the strings, and it really blends in a very unique way. So the electric guitar can be a powerhouse, of course, but also can be this very subtle instrument, and that's one of the things that I think I've tried to do here in this piece. The first movement of Gee's Bend, Housetop, is a particular quilting pattern that was used by the quilters. So I have come up with a particular pattern of my own. And really, in this movement, the guitar gets to play what's called power chords, where they play these big major chords, and the orchestra then plays along with the guitar. In the second movement of Gee's Bend, Grandmother's Dream, what I wanted to do was to evoke the subtle singing style of the electric guitar. And so it plays kind of these moaning, groaning, sliding tunes, and the strings are playing very soft chords sliding as well. It's really kind of a lovely sound that one doesn't hear that often. In the third movement of Gee's Bend, Washboard, I really wanted to evoke the sound of a washboard. That comes out of early blues music. So we actually have a percussionist in the orchestra come up and sit with the electric guitar player up front and play a washboard. At the same time, it features the woodwinds. So this movement is like a quilting bee in which it's a group of quilters, so to speak, this time as wind players. So they stand up and play little solos, the English horn, the bassoon, the flute, the oboe, the clarinets, and so forth. And the fourth and final movement of Gee's Bend is entitled Chicken Pickin'. Chicken Pickin' is a style of guitar playing which comes from the Deep South. Chet Atkins and many others specialized in that kind of playing. And it's kind of a plucking of the guitar strings. And I've written a very catchy little tune which is plucked on the guitar, and the orchestra plays along. It's a very vibrant ending to the piece. So, one of the things that I found when I was in Gee's Bend talking to these women is that they were humorous, optimistic, and, had a very positive spin on life. And, that's one of the things that I walked away from my experience at Gee's Bend, and I wanted to have a final movement which really evoked kind of that spirit. So really, to summarize, in Gee's Bend, it really is a concerto for the guitar that really features many things the electric guitar can do. I mean, it can not only play, psychedelic music, it can play beautiful tunes, it can do country and western music, it can play bluesy stuff. And what's interesting, the electric guitar really blends extremely well with the orchestra. And, back in the old days when Jimi Hendrix played and so forth, you had to have gigantic amplifiers on the stage. Now the technology really has improved. So the electric guitar player can bring a small amp on the stage with all their pedals. They can get all these different kinds of sounds and timbres, and they just plug into the sound system of the house. And so it's not too loud for the string players, who are nearby the amplifier, and yet you get a nice balance. So we've really come a long ways, and I think the electric guitar is probably one of the most neglected instruments. And there really are almost no concertos for electric guitar and orchestra or band or anything. So when this commission came about for Alabama, I thought this would be the ideal opportunity to write a piece for electric guitar and orchestra. And I'm thrilled that we will all get to hear DJ Sparr, the amazing guitarist who played the world premiere of Gee's Bend and has played it since, who will be coming to Cabrillo to play the piece. So it should be really incredible experience for all.